Well, after all the pre-season optimism, what a letdown on Saturday, but the Tottenham change is not too extensive. Paul Robinson, a fixture in goal, as he has been since his move here. The back four remains intact despite Anthony Gardner's uncertain showing, though he was a late call-up for Michael Dawson, who could be out for a fortnight with his ankle injury. The one change in midfield is forced on Martin Jol with Teemu Tainio ill, so Robbie Keane forced to adopt a deeper role. And Dimitar Berbatov is paired with the club record £16.5 million man Darren Bent, who starts his first game for the club. So Jermaine Defoe, who'd hope like Bent to be vying for a place in Steve McLaren's squad, is confined to the bench, along with the recalled Wayne Routledge.
Well, I know Tanio's unwell, not in the team, but I think he might have been tempted after that poor showing at the weekend to change that side of the pitch anyway. We have Robbie Keane playing on this right-hand side, but the one thing he could do, he could easily just change it midfield. We'll see how it goes. Just put Zakora as a deeper line player, tuck in Malbranque and Genius, and just play Keane in here like a little diamond-shaped midfield. That is something that they played 2 or 3 times in pre-season matches with Robbie Keane in there. That would make more sense to me. With Darren Bent in the side who runs away from the play, that's one way of stretching a team and getting a little bit of space. And then when you have players like Keane and Berbatov to manipulate the football, it looks pretty formidable. And they've no worry on this right-hand side. Chimbonda will bomb on there all day. And if Arteta just tucks in a little too far, then Chimbonda might get some joy.
Well, after the win over Everton, after the win over Wigan, no change for Everton tonight. They keep the same team with Tim Howard in goal. It's a settled defence from last season with Joleon Lescott hoping to catch the eye of the England coach. In midfield, there's Leon Osman, who scored Everton's first goal of the season on Saturday, and he's part of that quartet. And in attack, Andy Johnson has scored on his last 2 Premiership visits here. He's alongside Victor Anichebe. James McFadden is back from a foot injury to join a subs bench, including Phil Jagielka, who's still to make his debut for Everton.
Well, the one thing I think Yunus Kabul and Anthony Gardner will know is they'll have to work harder tonight. I can't believe that Andy Johnson and Victor Anichebe will be as poor up front as Sunderland were in the first hour of the game at the weekend, and I think they'll work the centre-halves a lot harder. Now, Carsley and Neville will be holding players. I can't see them getting ahead of the ball too far at all. I don't expect Phil Neville to be bombing in there. Carsley might occasionally, but with only 1 Premier League goal each last season, it doesn't suggest there's a lot of goals in the centre of midfield. Osman has got a real sniff for a goal. Doesn't just play up and down the right, but will look to get into the box and look to get a goal. Their playmaker, Gary McAllister's right, is Mikel Arteta. Although we have him left here, he doesn't play his game there. He'll drift infield, get involved in the ball, and if he gets time to lift his head and pick out a pass, particularly where the 2 up top that he's got to pick from, Johnson and Anichebe, then Tottenham have got to be very careful.
Well, it's amazing how quickly the gloss of a new season can wear off for some clubs. It never rains but when it pours. Michael Dawson's injury was a blow on the eve of the new campaign, and then the result itself was a real sickener, occurring as it did in stoppage time. But Martin Jol took it as a positive sign that the players were blaming each other in the dressing room after, and he hopes that there's some fighting spirit to mark their bounce back here tonight against an Everton team who started last season well and have begun this campaign with a win too. Phil Neville is part of England's last match against Israel, and who knows, with defensive options becoming ever shorter, may come into consideration for the home match against them too. But it's the strikers who everyone will be watching tonight. Andy Johnson in the Everton ranks, and Darren Bent on his full debut for Spurs. The important thing for him is justifying his huge transfer fee to come here, rather than just catching the eye of the England coach. Well, Spurs may have had their best 2 Premiership finishes in the last 2 years, but their vast summer outlay has excited loftier ambitions. And they know that after that upset at the Stadium of Light, when they were plunged into darkness, they have to make it count with home comforts here against Everton. They are the two clubs who've come close to breaking into the top four. Can they take the extra step this season? It's Spurs against Everton, live next. Well, it's a fixture that in recent times has gone with the away team. The last 3 times they've met, it is the side away from home that's won it. And Everton's victory here last year came after they'd had Kevin Kilban sent off. Andy Johnson and Lee Carsley get us underway, and this is Julian Lescott, one of the players on view who will be hoping to catch the eye of Steve McLaren, who is in the crowd here tonight. It's Jermaine Genius, another.
And it's funny, I talked about Chimbonda.
As Berbatov already picks out Darren Bent.
I talked about Chimbonda, sorry, bombing forward with Arteta was a little lax on the left-hand side. He must have thought about that, David Moyes, because he switched Arteta and Osman. Osman obviously feels defensively will do a better job on Chimbonda. It just shows you managers are always thinking.
Here's Robbie Keane, and the header clear is by Phil Neville. That's Genius.
I think with Tottenham, having seen them at the weekend, Rob, and one thing that disappointed was the pace of the passing. The tempo in their game, it was a little low. And I think tonight especially, wonderful conditions to slick the ball about. Wonderful to play on, and I think Tottenham have to start this game with a high tempo, and their passing has to be quick.
Well, they're playing on a surface that was voted the best in the Premier League last year. Here's Phil Neville. Now Johnson. First time ball from Hibbert, looking to draw Arteta into the action. He's already had a lively start to the season. He was impressive again on the opening day. And he secured his future in the summer with a new 5-year deal. Arteta here looking to turn away from Stalteri, who's playing out of his natural position.
Plus the fact they obviously, I think, would quite fancy Arteta getting that. Paul Stalteri.
Johnson loiters.
Well, much like I said at the weekend, they're a big side, Tottenham. They would be really disappointed if they conceded. It would be lack of concentration to concede at a set play. Everyone should be marked up.
It's Arteta who takes the kick, and it's a free header, and Spurs have conceded to Julian Lescott inside 3 minutes. Well, an awful start for Tottenham.
The other thing I forgot to mention is quality of delivery. Sometimes when someone plays a ball in of genuine quality, there's not a lot you can do. Anthony Gardner's the one marking Julian Lescott, and Lescott's movement was good all round. Look, he just pulls forward, then he goes back behind Gardner. Now he's bossing it, because Anthony Gardner's looked away from the ball. Look at Lescott's movement, back, forward, back again, and Anthony Gardner doesn't know what to look at. He's too busy looking at who he's marking, forgets about the ball, and because of that, Lescott has a simple header to put Everton ahead.
Julian Lescott, who scored the only 2 goals of his Everton career previously back in April, gets his first of this season. But the worst possible beginning for a Spurs side, already low on confidence after that late sickener against Sunderland. But it's early here that the blow has been struck, which from a positive point of view from Martignol at least gives them plenty of time to strike back.
Well, it's the one thing that the Tottenham manager talked about before the game to us. The one thing we have to do is not concede. 54 goals he conceded in the Premiership last year, 22 here, which is far too many if you want to be a top 6 side, or in his case a top 4 side.
There's a bit of a cloud on the horizon here for Everton. Joseph Yobo seems to be struggling with a bit of an injury, and it looks as though straight after scoring Everton are going to have to make a change. Nuno Valenti's getting ready to come on, which may well mean a change of position for Julian Lescott. Presumably he'd have to move into the middle.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Here's Stalteri, given away cheaply again to Arteta. Now Gardner. There's Kabul. And yet again, possession is conceded.
Robbie Keane saying he wanted the ball over the top there. I actually think Yunus Kabul played a pretty good ball. There was a big gap for Robbie Keane to come and get it. Just a misunderstanding, that was all.
Kabul's header out.
And we started with a 4 across midfield. Tottenham, that is, with Robbie Keane playing on the right. It'll be interesting to see how long they stay like that, if the scoreline doesn't change.
Everton have had the opportunity there to make the change, but they're leaving things as they are for the moment, just letting Yobo try and run his injury off. It's Keane looking to set down, bent away. Berbatov's waiting in the middle for the first time ball, and Yobo clearly is struggling.
Yeah, that was well done, Joseph Yobo. Well, Everton have a problem when Bent does this against Stubbs, because there's only one winner. Every time, Bent will run away from Alan Stubbs. So whoever's playing alongside him has got to be aware of that. Yobo there had the pace to go over and snuff Bent out. But Bent will look to run against Stubbs, I think, time after time in this match. I would have had his pace.
Well, Yobo's soldiering on, and Everton will be looked to be better organised here. And Spurs will pull the free kick. The ball went flying in for it, but it's past him.
Just got a little nick at the near post, that took it past everyone. A decent corner in that. Yeah, it looks like Yobo's told the bench, give me a 5 or 6 minutes or however long, see if I can shake this off.
And Everton prepared to take that risk. Here's Pascal Chimbonda. Skipped away from Jermaine Genius, allowing Anichebe to close him down.
Well, that's the thing about the pitch. Much as it's a brilliant pitch to slick the ball about, when it arrives at you, the one thing you need is a touch on it.
Here's Robbie Keane. Berbatov has set off, and he's offside.
Oh, I could see that long before the run was finished. Everton could see it as a unit at the back. No one threatened to run with Berbatov there to play him on. Look at that, they keep the line, let him run, they let him run. Although the linesman's nowhere near in line with the play, he gets it absolutely right.
It's Berbatov, who was somewhat disgruntled at his early withdrawal at the Stadium of Light on Saturday. But he's retained Martin Jol's faith for this crucial game to try and repair the damage of that. But here Spurs are already playing catch-up.
And we know from certainly previous years under David Moyes, the one thing this Everton team are is dogged and very difficult to get back at when they get their noses in front.
Yes, they made a habit, especially early in his reign, didn't they, of getting 1-0 victories.
They were the masters. It was either a 1-0 victory or a 1-0 defeat, wasn't it? In their good season, it was victory. In their poor seasons, it was defeat.
And it has been a real roller coaster ride in his reign, but signs are now that they are stabilising. Here's Gardner. Flick on by Bent. Keane looking to come in. Here's Lescott. The ball. An impressive interception. They say that he can play a bit, and he's showing that here, taking on Carsley and Lescott. And he's found Malbranc. A nice idea to steer it towards Dimitar Berbatov, but he couldn't reach him. Now Genius has missed his kick. Anichebe. Johnson tries to recover.
Well done, Jermaine Genius. Spotted Kabul going that long run and was aware enough just to slot in at the back, and it was important he did so. Well, they got a game. That's the one thing we know. I don't think they'll be getting tentative about this and negative. Tottenham know they have to push forward. Carbon copy at work. One of the big rivals, Arsenal, were asked to do it the weekend. Losing the early goal, and were they good enough to come back? They answered it.
Here's Bent. It's come back off Howard, and they've left it to each other. The two defenders, Hibbert and Yobo, very nearly presented Berbatov with a chance.
Well, it's bent again down that inside right channel against Stubbs. And again, there's only one winner. The Stubbs should be, Yobo should be clearing it because he's faced away from goal. And I think that's what Hibbert was saying. He's facing his own goal, really nowhere to go. They eventually scrambled it clear, but he's been a threat bent at his pace.
Genius with a corner. And here's Robbie Keane. Gardner's header.
This is a lovely run in behind again. It just shows you that, if you've got pace, you don't have to be getting the ball 40 yards from back to front. You can just slide it down the channels like they did then. And he's got the pace to trouble any defence. But I think Dan Bent's using his head as well at times. He knows he's quicker than Stubbsy, and he's just using that advantage.
There's been a feeling here pre-season that when they use down Bent, they sometimes have to play a longer ball game than they used to.
I think they can mix it. I mean, to have that pace as an option is a fantastic option to have. And by stretching them, what Everton defenders will start to do, I feel, is drop back off play. And by doing that, it should create a little gap in front of the back four for Berbatov, if he wants to go and get it, to then produce his magic.
Well, he's tested Howard once already, down Bent. Signs here that Tottenham are finding their feet. Lescott. Now Mikel Arteta. Here's Neville. He looks long for Johnson. And it's Stalteri away.
And just very quickly, Rob, what the Alan Stubbs, I was watching him a minute ago, and he just said to Yobo, swap with me, come over this side. He wants him to try and take Bent. I think he's been stung twice. He doesn't want it third time unlucky. That's rash. That is rash in the extreme. No, that's got to be a yellow card. I agree there. And not being one who likes to see cards thrown about, he's way late here. He's just a rash challenge. He's no attempt to play the ball whatsoever. He's only got one target in mind, I think, and that was Arteta.
Can lightning strike the same place twice? Mikel Arteta. Lescott has advanced forward slowly. Arteta's had time to measure his options here, and a real letdown.
He's a thinking footballer, isn't he? That's the thing. They know his teammates will forgive that because they know he's a little genius, because he can do things like this. This is a quality delivery, and the advantage of it being right-footed. Look at the goalkeeper. He's tempted. He's tempted, the England goalkeeper. Look at his position. Now come and get it, you think, but he doesn't, and he backs away. Now maybe Tottenham will look at that and say, hey, you maybe should have taken a couple of steps, Paul, and either got a fist to that or taken it. So there might be a debate in there about who was at fault for it.
And for all his strengths as a goalkeeper, it's a question that has been asked of Paul Robinson before. Here's Malbron. Home off Berbatov to Bent. Here's Genius. Good tackle by Carsley. Collected by Chimbonda. Kabul.
Well, on this pitch, you see how it skips away there. Got to be a little bit more accurate.
Well, it was a bad start to the Premiership season for Spurs. It was a bad start to the Premiership season for Steve McLaren. Worst possible news at Old Trafford. He's got a smile on his face now, but he wasn't smiling at Old Trafford, was he, on Sunday, with the loss of Wayne Rooney?
No, well, that's what football's about, you know, at every level. Someone's demise is an opportunity for someone else. The two guys you've just seen, the two that people are talking about most. I know they're saying Michael Owen's back, but he's hugely short of football, Michael. Whereas those two aren't.
Here's Anichebe.
Good football. That's typical Johnson. Almost chasing lost cause. He's making something out of nothing. And it's so typical of Anichebe. Wasted absolutely no time in getting his shot in.
Anichebe's a player who has still to decide on his international options. He's talked about representing Nigeria and has been selected for Indian junior squads in the past. Here's Malbron. Headed clear by Stubbs. Stalteri's shot coming back off Neville and giving Andy Johnson something to chase onto here. And he's got the better of Kabul. Johnson just fell short for Anichebe, and Zakora got back and did enough, but Johnson retrieves. Osman. Arteta. Stalteri.
He's a very happy man, Paul Stalteri.
Osman.
Well, that's a chance. Really, not that one, the one previously. For Everton really to test Tottenham's nerve. Because when this drops here, there's only one ball on for him and he picks the right one. But it's a little bit lacking in pace, and you can see Anichebe has to slow down and stop. The ball wasn't played in front of him enough, and it gave Zakora a chance to get back. Brilliant play for the midfield player to get back in there. But I think the ball into Anichebe just wasn't good enough. That lost the chance.
Well, typically selfless play again from Andy Johnson in looking for his strike partner.
And what it was the right play. It was, you know, had he gone on and lost the ball, we're trying to beat someone, Rob, he'd be saying, why on earth is he doing that? But he did the right thing. He just didn't play a good enough ball.
Keane. Malbron tried to knock it back to Berbatov, whose ball caught Alan Stubbs.
Well, Everton were looking for an offside because Malbron was miles off. But this is what everyone is still getting used to. If the ball doesn't go to Malbron, you watch Malbron make a run. Now, he's not offside here, but watch the header come in there, and as the ball comes back out, that was Ben actually, he's miles offside when the ball comes in, but he never played the ball. Therefore, flag stays down.
Gardner. Neville.
I'm looking at Kabul. Is he limping a bit?
Well, it looks like they're going to bring Ricardo Rocker on.
Kabul just seems to be limping a wee bit there as he was walking. Not so much now. Certainly a defender. He is. Yeah. He's just pulled out of that as he played it back, wincing a little bit. The young Frenchman coming out of the game.
Sometimes it doesn't matter how much you improve your squad and the money you spend, circumstances conspire against you, and already minus Ledley King and Michael Dawson, Tottenham now forced into another defensive change. Kabul's done so well in his first full match plus 18 minutes of this, going off and being replaced by Ricardo Roca.
I don't know if he was just feeling the left hamstring there as he went in, I'm not sure. That was a pretty quick decision made, so obviously the problem.
Confirmed it is the hamstring. Already having to monitor Andy Johnson. He tries to stand one up for Anichebe. And here's Rocker's first test. He handles. Now Malbron. Zakora. Chimbonda. Away by Yobo. Zakora.
Ambitious, got to go right to Robbie Keane. Got to go right. It was an ambitious ball from Chimbonda initially, but Keane there is just shouting at him. Skipper not happy. This is ambitious. Look at the way Everton close it up. Look at the blue shirts that go in there centrally. Really awkward, but look at Keane, top of the screen. Acres of space, just slide it out to him. Keep the attack going.
Genus. Here's Keane. Closed down by Carsley. Arteta. Osman. Carsley. Neville's ball in. Osman challenging.
That's a good climb from Osman. Chimbonda's very good in the air. And normally would cope with that. Asking the referee if it was a free kick, but Mark Hall's having none of it. Osman gets up early. There he goes. Nice and early. Nothing wrong with that. Look, watch him. He'll go up early. There you go. First off the ground. And that's the key to that. Just can't control the header.
Osman good in the air too, as he showed with that goal. Had to be something special to beat Chris Kirkland from the range he was at on Saturday. Here's Malbranc. In by Malbranc. Berbatov got the header on. And here's Bent. We're starting to ask a few more questions now.
Yeah, they've settled a bit.
Genus with a corner into Keane, who let it run. Chimbonda. Genus.
Pity. That was a super ball from Chimbonda. Genus had a chance to fizz that one back in.
Keane over Carsley's head. Berbatov!
Well, he's one of the players that can do that. One of the few players that Tottenham have that can do this in such a confined area. Always thinking about what he's doing, Robbie Keane. It's unlucky for Berbatov because he has to pull this from behind him. Actually just goes behind him and he has to change his step. As he wins this one, Robbie Keane, he steps back away from goal. And then having to turn and keep it down isn't easy.
Header on by Berbatov. Here's Yobo. Genus. Now Malbranc. Here by Carsley. Guardiola.
Good Guardiola.
Zakora.
This one, a little bit more tempo in the play. Yeah, it was a little one-paced and slow at the weekend. There's a little bit more tempo to it. Like that. That's good.
Chimbonda's got it on to Keane here. There are three in the middle. Berbatov. Now Zakora.
Can he switch it?
That's what he's looked to do.
Talked him into that pass, didn't it?
Keane showing the defensive side of his game, tracking back against Osman, and Genus has spread it to Dimitar Berbatov. Bent available for the pullback. Genus have got into the area, and confusion then between Carsley and Lescott. There have been times when they've looked a little uncertain, Everton.
But that's what they have, you know. They can get as many men back as they like, Rob. They have that ball out there to two very, very willing front men.
Arteta made that here, stole a march in front of Zakora, who then blocked his pass.
But look at that, they still have the back four intact, Everton. 4 against 2, so very happy.
Neville.
Well, I think Tottenham need to keep the tempo of this game up like it is. They've got the fans with them even though they're 1 down at the moment because the tempo's good.
Here's Stalteri. Berbatov. Cleared by Carsley. So there's like a back 6 they're trying to break through at times, with Neville and Carsley sitting in front of that back 4 as well. Can Malbranc find that moment of ingenuity? He's won a corner from Tony Hibbert.
Might have played Stalteri in, you know. Arteta gets sucked in with Everton. Stalteri was backing him up very well. Certainly had enough of those, Tottenham. Haven't really made them count though, and they've got a big side, we've talked about it. Got enough targets in there.
Genius with a kick, free header and a goal! And it's Anthony Gardner, the man who let Lescott go for Everton's opener, who's got Spurs level.
Ain't football amazing? He's just done to Lescott what Lescott did to him. You watch him, back there, second back route, and he comes. Studley pulls back off Lescott. I have to say it's a kind of run that a front man of the highest order would be proud of, because he runs Lescott under the ball, checks his run there, picks up the flight a bit earlier, and just has a simple nod in. It's a super piece of play from Anthony Gardner.
Well, he may have been facing the brickbats had he gone in at half-time with Spurs a goal down for losing his man from Everton's free kick. But as it is, Anthony Gardner in line to take the plaudits now. Only the 2nd Premier League goal of his career, and the only other one against West Ham was nearly 5 years ago.
Well, I know it came from a corner, but the corner came as a result of a piece of play, a passage of play in this match where Tottenham kept the tempo of the game really high. The pass was slick and quick. They moved the ball about the pitch and tried to move Everton about the pitch.
Here's Neville. Well, isn't it amazing? Nearly £40 million worth of striking talent at Spurs' disposal, and their first goal of this season is scored by a defender who's hardly a regular on the score sheet.
All the team.
Indeed, might not, well, probably wouldn't be playing had Dawson and King been fit. Neville's throw.
I'm just saying Hibbert needs to come away from the play, so Neville, if he wants to throw it to Arteta like that, can and get it back.
Neville's cross. Johnson was lurking, but Chimbonda got there first.
There's another really teasing ball.
Gardner surely now isn't going to let Lescott out of his sights.
Well, it's not easy when you're marking, you know, if someone wants to put some movement into it. You try and get yourself into such a position where you can see both player and ball, and then when the ball's on its way, if it's anywhere near you, you've got to focus on that and attack it.
For Chimbonda and Anichebe, but quite a duel it's developing into between Lescott and Anthony Gardner. Lescott, the referee, had already got his eyes on that situation.
Well, you'd have bet that. You tell you why, because about 6 Tottenham players were insistent that it was a free kick on Chimbonda for the corner, and he didn't give it. And just watch how quickly, there's nothing going on there. I mean, the goalkeeper's hardly touched, but the referee just think, okay, I'll give a free kick in case I was wrong.
Mark Halsey is the referee, as he was for this fixture last season when Everton won here. He actually sent off Kevin Kilban, but Everton got their 2 goals after that dismissal. Lescott's missed his header there, and Keane has kept it in for Dimitar Berbatov, and it's cleared by Stubbs. Here's Lee Carsley, and Nietzsche just trying to help it on to Johnson. Here's Lescott. On by Johnson.
Well, I think since the goal, after about a 5 or 10 minute spell, Tottenham have got themselves together. Plenty of possession, as you can see there, and I think they're certainly well worth their equaliser. I think they played much better than they did at Sunderland.
Nietzsche. Zakora. Here's Stalteri. Zakora. Lescott trying to get it back to his goalkeeper, which was a bit of a risk with Bent there.
Yeah, they're winning it back well now. Partly because Everton are giving it back a little too easily.
He was looking for handball decision against Arteta, but he was so close to him.
There we go, Tottenham again winning it back. Everton played 2 passes after they got possession. Now it's back in a white shirt.
Here's Zakora. Now Genus. Keane. Here's Stalteri. He's found a way past Arteta. This comes back off Hibbert to Malbronk.
Great block, Carsley. Still it comes back.
Chimbonda. Lost out to Osman.
Playing on. Berbatov was offside. The flag did go up, but Everton have possession, so let's keep the game flowing.
Here's Yoba. Lescott has weaved it round here to Johnson.
Oh, Arteta asking, didn't you see me? He only had the one option across the face of the goal, that was an Ichibe. Arteta was making the ground up, coming in, round about the 18-yard line. You see Arteta there just leaving the centre circle. He holds his possession, the arms go up. And Andy Johnson doesn't see him.
Arteta's corner. Gardner got in front of Lescott that time to clear. And here's Malbronk. Just too much on it for Bent.
I think he'd be a little disappointed that he hasn't found Bent. It's not a massively difficult ball, that, for somebody with his ability. But look at the conditions. That really is chucking it down now.
That's typical August weather. More action tomorrow. Wigan and Middlesbrough both lost their opening games. They play each other. It's live on Sky Sports 2 and HD2 from 7 o'clock. Here's Genus. And now Stalteri.
Well, you can see he's not happy. He's had 3 or 4 opportunities, Paul Stalteri. I know he's filling in here. You know, they're without, what, probably three left-backs that would probably have played before him. And it's been a pity for Tottenham because of a good ball with Stalteri on this near side.
More Carling Cup action to come on Thursday. Rotherham against Sheffield Wednesday. That's live on Sky Sports 1 and HD1 from 7 o'clock. Here's Carsley. Now Osman. Arteta's ball in.
There we go. Got a young statistician there in the making. How many corners is that, Mum? Okay, 4. Okay, thanks. How many shots have we had on goal? Good girl. And she's even listening to you and me. She's a good girl. Clever.
She'll learn as she grows up.
Yeah, the switches off.
Here's Berbatov. Lescott. Osman. Arteta's ball in and Ichibi was set up for it. It's Osman! 2 goals in as many games for Leon Osman, and Everton are back in front.
Well, sometimes you don't get what you deserve, and I'm talking about Ricardo Rocha, because he makes an unbelievable saving header here. Because Anichebe stands and thinks, I'm going to score my second goal in 2 games here. When Arteta stands this up, you watch Anichebe, he just gets a position and he thinks, I've scored, watch. But look at that for a clearing header. But unfortunately for Rocha, it drops to Leon Osman and he gets his second. Look, Anichebe thinks he scored. It's a brilliant clearing header, but he gets no luck. But Everton do, and Osman's next his second goal of the season.
Well, Leon Osman only scored 3 goals in total last season. He's already got 2 this. Decent finish too.
And that's why he's in the team. You know, I think that, you know, Everton recognise that he has an ability, has a little eye, went in the penalty area, have been in the right place at the right time. He just could not have had a better start to the season, the boy. What a very good game we've had. 5th and 6th last year, nothing between them.
And Spurs bounce back again. Chimbonda's ball in. Mal Brock was waiting for it, but Yobo ensured it didn't get as far as him.
That wasn't easy because Everton have plenty blue shots. You look at this, 1, 2, 6 of them. Look at that inner line right across that penalty area, making it difficult for Chimbonda. Perhaps he should have stood it up a little instead of driving it.
And another Spurs corner yield another Spurs goal. Genus with the kick. Gardner's up there again. Robbie Keane, not the cleanest connection. Genus looking to make inroads. Oh, Gardner was free, but this time Lescott frustrates him.
Well, this game's had a really good tempo to it, almost from the first minute. He's tested him again there, just off. Well, he thought he did everything right here. They get a little bit of luck there with that deflection, but again it's Arteta's vision here, and he thinks it, could he have gotten it over the bar? I wonder if he thinks to himself now when he sees it, maybe I should have just headed it straight over the bar. But by heading it back out, he's got to be unlucky, isn't he, that it drops at Osman's feet. I just think that as we approach, with 5 minutes to go to half time, Martin Yall will be looking at his a rare talent that he has at the top line. Robbie Keane's flashed a couple of times. Dan and Bent made a couple of great runs and got in and was a little unlucky. Bebatov's been a little disappointing again. I mean, I'm a huge fan, I think everyone knows that of him, but he just hasn't sparked into life this season yet.
Yobo with a header clear.
I'll use the word yet when I talk about Berbatov.
Liable to explode into life at any moment, Dimitar Berbatov, just waiting his moment. Keane looking to find him. Away by Lescott. Here's Ricardo Roca. Stalteri. Zakora. Gidas. Lescott. Johnson.
Well taken.
Here's Arteta. Neville. Osman. And each will be back to Leon Osman. Arteta. Now Hibbert. Neville. Arteta aiming to turn away from Paul Stalteri, who gave him a little nudge just outside the box.
It's great play from Arteta, because he wants to turn away from Stalteri and then it gets a little bit far away from him, so he thinks, right, lean into him. Okay, I'll have the free kick. I mean, it's really clever play from a player on the edge of your opponent's box.
Well, he's 25, but still has been recognised at full international level by Spain, Arteta.
Well, it's
number one.
It's made for a left footer this side. I don't think Everton have one. Quite amazing to think that. They've got 11 players out there and I'm not so sure they've got... Well, Lescott might be here, but he's at the back post for the header. And that wall's miles to go back yet. Halsey trying to get it back. That's better.
Arteta!
Always a little too high. I think Paul Robertson gets the flight of this. You watch the goalkeeper, is he troubled? Is he anxious? Not really. He knows it's high. I think goalkeepers get a good idea early on in a free kick. And his body language is certainly one that suggested it was going over. Well, I think half-time now for Everton and David Moyes. And you regard that as a pretty good return for 45 minutes.
Yobo.
Give him a shout.
A fusion between Roca and Anthony Gardner. And here's Leon Osman.
That'll be a free kick there.
So stretching Robbie Keane, who took him down.
Well, he's a little lucky he doesn't get a card. Normally when people slide in from the back like that and give the free kick away, it's normally a yellow card.
Carsley. Lescott. Yobo. Now Arteta. So trying to give Ginas the run around, and then he had help from Lee Carsley.
Yeah, he's just a good player. I love to see a footballer who's never frightened or worried with the ball at his feet, even if he's under pressure.
Zakora, this kick.
Well, I think if it stays like this till half time, the reception the Spurs fans have for their team will be an interesting one.
Well, they haven't lost the opening 2 matches of a Premier League season for 9 years, Tottenham. Wimbledon and Sheffield Wednesday beat them then. And although they won their next game against Everton, it wasn't enough to save Christian Gross that season. It's very early in the day to talk about managers being under pressure, but the managerial madness has already started in the Football League.
Well, they'll take their time with this, Everton, if the players have seen the 1 minute. Massive big board up there that's saying it, so here we go. Now they'll know. So they'll take their time with this, and well, the one thing I can tell you, Alan Stubbs can fairly hit them. If he wants to just put his foot through this, he's got some power.
Seems to fancy it, Alan Stubbs.
Arteta's having a good long look at it, because his will be the craft, Stubbs will be the power, you feel.
And it is Stubbs' power they go for, and it's deflected in past Paul Robinson. Everton piling on the woes for Tottenham.
Well, I know it's deflected, but it's not deflected far. It's a bit flat-footed, the goalkeeper. Comes off the edge of the wall, and there's no movement. Absolutely none. He takes a half a step to his left, feet go down, but then he's not. I just think, even diving for it, you know, go on. There's no spring there. It was a bit, to me, a bit heavy-footed when that ball went past him. That might be being harsh here, and I'm sure Gary Mack will have a go at me if I was.
Well, the reception tells its own story. A chorus of jeers that Spurs are going off to at half-time, having conceded that 3rd goal. All the first half goals scored by Englishmen, not the ones you'd expect, but it's the ones from Lescott, Osman and Stubbs made to count. Tottenham 1, Everton 3. But how Spurs need a recovery here. It's a bit harsh, the reception they went off to at half-time, not only because of their first half performance, but bearing in mind that in the last couple of seasons they've had their best ever Premiership finishes, finishing 5th on each occasion. But when you spend the money Tottenham have, you raise expectations accordingly.
And that was then, and this is now.
3-1 down at Everton, 3-1 down to Everton at half-time. A harsh reflection on Spurs' first half display, but do they have the wherewithal to recover here? Mick Rathbone, the Everton physio, has been called into action, but I think merely to deliver some drinks for Tim Howard in the Everton goal. In personal delivery service, the American goalkeeper.
Tottenham will be hoping to keep him so busy that they won't have time to reach behind the ball for them. Now, a quick start needed.
And they are straight on the front foot with Robbie Keane looking to lift the tempo, and he's had his first go and forced Howard into action.
Well, it's a very positive start. Within 30 seconds, working the goalkeeper. This is his weaker side, but he's still not frightened to take the shot on Robbie Keane.
And just escaped from Anichebe. Zakora puts Stalteri under a bit of pressure. Anichebe thought it was worth a corner.
Yeah, he did. I think he thought it'd come back off Stalteri. Well, it looks like Martial has said, OK, he's going to have a look at this for 15 minutes. A lot of managers do that. You know, even though they're 3-1 down at half-time, Rob, they just say, OK, you got us into this problem. I'll give you 15 minutes to show me that you're capable of getting us out of it. And if not, then I would be very surprised if by the hour, well, maybe sooner, that's what I'm saying, a change isn't made.
Here's Genus.
Stalteri was on there. Genus tried to play a real fiddly ball through the middle, and if he had just kept it going to his left, Stalteri was again in acres of space.
Here's Berbatov. Not getting the better of Lescott, and the ball came off him last.
It's just typified his start to the season, I think, Dimitar Berbatov.
Club's player of the year last season. There were many who believed he wouldn't be here for the start of this. In many ways, his decision to stay was as encouraging as the new signings that Tottenham made. Hence the belief that they could finally break into the top four, previously dominated by Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal and Liverpool. Everton are the only team to break into that group in the last 4 years. Here's Pascal Chimbonda looking for Berbatov! Off the post! Bent couldn't direct the header goalwards.
No, Bent, they're both unlucky. Well, the season just about burst into life. Fabulous header from a fabulous cross.
Here's Neville. Now Leon Osman. Well, Osman's season has started magnificently, providing for Arteta here. Around Stalteri, Arteta!
Oh, how close are we at either end? That takes a little deflection. Whether that was the thing that took it past the post. But yet again, Paul Robinson looking at it agonisingly. In fact, it nearly took it in. And yet another deflection. But this is the cross. Super cross, and let me tell you, that's a fabulous header. It just arrived at Darren Bent awkwardly.
Fine margins for Dimitar Berbatov, so unlucky.
Well, that's what I mean about this game being far from over, Rob.
Arteta's corner, Osman looking to flick it back. Phil Neville. Back in by Arteta, Lescott was lurking.
That's worth seeing again. Because of the difficulty of the header. He has to back away from it, but look at the way he gets the power in those neck muscles. Wonderful effort. Didn't get the rewards it deserved.
Gardner reaching around Victor Anichebe and giving away a free kick as a result. The boys sending a message across with his captain.
Yeah, sorry Rob, I just think we've got a fascinating game set here now, because Tottenham have to commit players forward, and I think Everton have shown that with Anichebe and Johnson and Osman and Arteta, they have a quartet of players on the break that can still trouble Tottenham an awful lot.
Arteta plays the kick in this time to Anichebe. Nice idea, but he couldn't turn past Stalteri. Here's Berbatov. Bent makes the run out to the left. Robbie Keane. Chimbonda. Cleared by Carsley. It's Gardner. Now Stalteri. Chinas. Chimbonda's ball in.
Yeah, well trapped by Yobo that time. Matched the run of Berbatov.
Well, could this be a route back into the game? We've had a corner produce a goal before tonight, Spurs, and Keane takes this one. Walker's in there for it, and Bent stuck out a leg, a hopeful one.
Well, he's blown the whistle. Oh, I think maybe Lescott got a knock. Saying he's okay.
Crowd suspicious that it might be an Everton ploy just to slow things down, but
it's nothing to do with Everton. I think he genuinely was. I mean, he said he didn't want to, but I think Andy Johnson will just knock this back to the goalkeeper. I would think that's pretty much what he should do.
Here's Rocker. It's a foul by Johnson. Jesus' kick.
I just fiddled about with things a little bit, Everton. I'm just looking down the front of me, and we've got Leon Osman right on Zakora, the middle of the pitch, narrowed it a bit. Arteta's now on this left-hand side, and that's because you see there in the centre circle Robbie Keane tucked him infield behind the front two, trying to get him involved in the game, and that's meant that Everton have just had to adjust their quartet of midfield players to match it. So they've just gone to that little triangle, diamond we talked about. Zakora at the bottom, Keane at the top, and Genus and Malbranc either side of them.
Zakora. There's Keane. Alan Stubbs. Here's Zakora. Anichebe's foul.
I think he just gets caught here as he lands. I mean, Anichebe's a strong young boy, and as he just lands on the ball there, he just gets caught with the knee of Phil Neville. Zakora thinks it's Anichebe, but we could see quite clearly it's Phil Neville who was coming across to help the challenge, whose knee caught Zakora's head.
Just bringing about a peaceful solution. Hopefully that's an end to all of the antagonism, although there's no handshake.
Yeah, good young lad, 19, but he won't be intimidated.
Here's Lescott. Walker takes down Lescott. Lescott's kick. Away by Gardner. Will get retrieved. And here's Phil Neville. Gardner away, but Anichebe leaned into him.
Yeah, linesman slag us up. Nothing to do with the referee, that. Given by the linesman.
Yobo. Here's Malbranc. Zakora. Trying to slide to keep it in, but his attempt was in vain.
I didn't think he had to. I was a little surprised he went to ground here. It looked like he could catch that quite easily. Why are you going to ground? What is he, six yards from the line? A real strange decision, that one, for me. But they need something, Tottenham. I mean, I think that effort off the post from Berbatov, it lifted them. But Everton have kind of steadied the ship since then.
Here's Osman. Johnson. And Malbronk. Berbatov. Blocked by Carsley. Here's Arteta. He's pulled back by Genius. Not only a free kick, it's going to be a card as well.
Well, as soon as you do that, as deliberate as that, no arguments from Jermaine Genius, he knows.
Well, the two yellow cards that have been shown to Spurs players, Malbronk and Genius, both for challenges on Mikel Arteta.
Well, I think we're getting to the stage in this game. I've talked about the hour mark, and if no change in the scoreline, then Martignol really has to try and do something.
An option for the Tottenham manager.
The only thing about Defoe, you look down in front of you and you say, OK, Defoe, he takes him, puts him on. Who does he take off? Does he take off Ben, Kane or Berbatov? I don't know. I certainly, looking at it, if Defoe's coming on, would look to be taking off something like Malbronk, and then fitting the four attacking players into a way where you get the best use out of them.
Malbronk's cross. No joy there for Berbatov, who was being marshalled by Lescott and Yobo.
Yeah, well, when you turn back on yourself like this and you play a right-footed cross on the left and you don't get it quite right, that's what happens. Inevitably it goes out of play.
Scarteri. Now Malbronk.
Just watched Defoe again run up the tunnel, looking to get his strip one, I would guess. So I guess his arrival is imminent.
Does he risk taking Berbatov off again? Or will Darren Bent be the man to make way this time? Here's Chimbonda.
He's played that blind, Chimbonda, in the end. He's having a moan up at somebody, but I'm not sure who.
Keane. Here's Stalteri. Defoe has returned to the sidelines. Here's Lescott with a header clear. And now Zakora. Keane. Foul by Arteta.
Well, why Tim Howard's not screaming at Julian Lescott to leave that cross? I mean, it's going nowhere. He could have come and taken it himself. Lescott didn't play a great header out, and because of that, Tottenham have a free kick in a hugely dangerous area, and a quartet of players discussing who's going to hit it. Do you know what I'd like to see this season? A little variation.
Yeah. Somebody
come up with something from a set play, because so often, 9 times out of 10, this ball will be hit at goal. Just in one.
Chimbonda's just lurking on the right edge of the area. If he's to be involved in any routine, but does look as though Keane has eyes for goal. Predictable?
It's a long way out. Never really troubling Tim Howard, but I'm just saying, wouldn't it be nice to see a little variation on a theme? There is a substitution. Well, it is Darren Bent. You wondered whether it be Berbatov. It's the new man, £16.5 million man. To be fair, he's been quiet. He started very, very brightly. He made a couple of great runs off the back of Alan Stubbs, but not a lot since then.
Steve McLaren watching one England contender replaced by another. Jermaine Defoe was a bit part player at Spurs before Darren Bent's arrival. But only one of the 10 Premiership goals that he managed last season was after coming on as a substitute. It was the one that effectively relegated his old club Charlton.
And I never think it's easy coming on as a sub, to pick up the tempo of the game. get involved wholly. But in the modern game, they're more and more used to it. Because it happens so often now.
Here's Osman. Stalteri. Lescott. Here's Mikel Arteta. Going to get a run on Rocker here. Chimbonda's back supporting. Parsley. Arteta.
Well, he's not big, but he's strong, Arteta. I know, they understand the frustration in Chimbonda, but why are you bowling over a player? He's going nowhere, he's facing the touchline. You're 3-1 down. Now you've given away a set play when you've already suffered from his right foot twice already in the match with delivery he's put in.
Stubbs and Osman amongst the Everton scorers already. And this could compound Tottenham's woes if Arteta can find his target again. A bit of sorting out to do again for Mark Halsey. The old duel between Lescott and Gardner he might have an eye on. And each will be in there too. Going to cause a disturbance as the kick is floated in. And Stubbs was the player around the back.
Well, the goalkeeper again, I think, gets himself into a, well, I wouldn't say the classic position here. He comes into traffic, he decides he's going to come and have a look at this one, but gets nowhere near it. And if Alan Stubbs is just a yard quicker, he's tapping that again, open goal.
Stubbs. Sakura. Malbronk, and here's Defoe taking on Hibbert, driven into a decent area.
Should always be goalkeepers. Nice positive run from Jermaine Defoe. It's a bit quiet, it's a little bit flat at the moment. We're looking for something, the crowd, just to lift them. Gary McAllister talked about that spell we were mentioning in the first half when they were zipping it about and they lifted the crowd even though they were down in the game, and it was very positive, but I don't see that at the moment. Everton are, well, I hate to say this for Everton's sake, but they look comfortable at the moment.
Well, Everton were one of 4 visiting teams to win here in the Premiership last season. The other 3 actually occurred in a run either side of the New Year period. Liverpool, Newcastle and Manchester United all won here. But especially off the back of Saturday's defeat, this will be hard to take for the Tottenham fans.
And the trouble we've got at times now is the front 3. You could almost throw a blanket over them and it makes it easier to defend.
Here's Genius. Chimbonda couldn't keep it in. Well, a bit of width might be the order of the day for Martignol and Chris Hughton, and now Wayne Routledge is set to come on for his first Spurs appearance in some 20 months. He's had a couple of loan spells away from here. The Everton fans are enjoying it, and why not? They had a great start to last season. They were unbeaten in their first 7, didn't lose a league game until October at Middlesbrough, set them up really well.
Stalteri, yeah. Well, we're going to put Sakura. It looks like Sakura's going to go to left back here. Now, that's... No, not Martignol, he's more qualified as a manager than I am, but that's a strange decision. I think you want to get Routledge in, and you only really need 3 at the back. You could easily have gone with Stalteri, the 2 centre-backs. taking Malbranc off, stuck Routledge wide on the left, stuck Chimbonda wide on the right. But they still left Eugenius and Zakora in the middle of midfield, and the trio of forward-thinking players. That to me would have given more balance to the side.
Osman. Zakora straight into his new role. Here's Robbie Keane. Now Defoe. Routledge looking to get in, and Lescott deals with that situation. Keane.
Rob's now got Robbie Keane playing as a midfield player. Malbranc wide on the left, Routledge wide on the right, Defoe and Berbatov up top, Genius and Robbie Keane middle of midfield.
Zakora under pressure, and Anichebe has won it from him.
Oh, he's unlucky, isn't he? He's trying to win a corner and ends up putting in a pretty good ball that just took everybody in a blue shirt by surprise. But Everton aren't interested in overcommitting now, Rob. It's just under a quarter of the game to go. The last thing they're going to do is commit too many men forward.
Wigan gave them a bit of a scare in the last 10 minutes on Saturday when they pulled a goal back.
Yeah, I think that's always the case. I don't think we'll see Hibbert or Julian Lescott go too forward. I think they'll stay pretty close to the centre-backs. I think Phil Neville, Lee Carsley certainly won't be bombing forward either.
Here's Gardner. Routledge. Berbatov. Cleared by Joseph Yobo.
Oh, for a player who was going off after 5 minutes, or so we thought, shaking off the injury, played pretty well.
Routledge carried it too far. Well, what a Sunday we've got in prospect, eh? Manchester City against Manchester United comes up first, 1 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 and HD1, and that's followed by the meeting of Liverpool and Chelsea. So make sure you clear your diary. That one's Sunday 3:30, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Should be Sunday.
Looking forward to it. Of course, we've got a small matter of Wigan Middlesbrough tomorrow night, folks.
Indeed.
Pressure on both already, with a defeat each in the opening weekend.
Yes, Everton, the conquerors of Wigan, and Middlesbrough let a lead go against Blackburn.
Well, I expected Spurs to pass the ball better second half. I don't have. I thought, like the boys in the studio, I thought they played well first half. Tottenham and the scoreline at Everton. But in all honesty, Rob, apart from Berbatov's header right at the beginning of this half, I used the word comfortable 20 minutes or so ago. That's what Everton have been.
Stubbs kick.
But you know, it doesn't take long to change a game in this league. Ask Fulham.
Spurs have double the time, but Arsenal managed it in. Johnson and Nietzsche be looking to get on the end of this. Robinson always comfortable. Now finds Zakora. Key. Malbranc. Back by Neville. Moved by Alan Stubbs. Here's Gardner. Defoe.
Well, it's a sign of desperation, that. And a couple of ways. A sign of desperation because of the result, and I guess his own personal position of looking like he's going to sit on the bench a bit this year, or a lot. So trying to prove a point by ignoring everybody else and having a smash at it.
Glum faces around. And the manager.
Well, I said on Sunday before the Sunderland game that the burden of expectancy can weigh heavy on shoulders, and that's what they have this year, Tottenham. They have a bunch of fans that expect better things from them.
Here's Chimbonda. Now Routledge. Chimbonda. Genus. Berbatov. Couldn't turn on it, and Neville nicked it away. Nothing breaking for Tottenham. Still that Berbatov header that hit the post in the second half, the best thing they've produced. Chimbonda.
Change it.
Chimbonda looking for Berbatov, but it's Howard's ball all the way.
Change of play was on. Oh, anything over the top there from Osman. Played it along the ground, but anything over Rocha was a ball.
There's Osman.
It's twice now. And 3 players are out the game. Notice I only said 3. It just shows you how non-committal Everton quite rightly are at the moment, and throwing men forward.
Everton desperate just to close this one off. A bit early in the day to be talking about league tables, but they would be top.
Let me tell you something, it's never too early to be talking about league tables. You ask Spurs fans if this stays like this.
Here's Johnson. Work through to Anichebe. Johnson!
Keeper's height. Very deliberate from Andy Johnson. But you would have been surprised had it beaten the goalkeeper. Offside, is it? Yeah. Well, you pays your money and takes your chances here. You either put your foot through it and smash it with power. You get a little bit of luck a couple of times and a little bit of bobbling, but you can either put your foot through that or do what he did. Tried to just bend it in the corner. A little too close to Paul Robinson. Not pretty even in all counts this match, apart from the one that matters.
Keane still able to share a joke with Phil Neville, but Spurs will be feeling the heat. We've got Derby here in the second of successive home fixtures at the weekend, and that's before they visit Manchester United on Sunday week. Here's Ricardo Roca.
Well, they look like they are going to be this year again, Everton, what they've been for the last couple of seasons. A difficult side to beat. And we always thought if they could add goals to their game that it would just take them up a level. And 5 goals so far in just in 2 games.
Here's Defoe.
Shows that they might have done that. They only lost 6 Premiership games last season, Everton, away from home. That's not bad.
But through the whole of last season, they only ever managed back-to-back league wins once. Haven't done it since last September, when the 2-0 victory they managed here was followed by a home success against Liverpool. And here they are looking like starting the new Premier League campaign with consecutive wins.
Big statement, mate. 15 minutes to go.
I did say looking like. Carsley.
That's a great ball. I think he just turned it round the corner, but super ball.
Well, David Moyes' team is evolving slowly. We saw there Phil Jagielka. He's not had a massive amount of transfer activity at Goodison Park. Of course, he can't use Leighton Baines at the moment. He's injured. Still relying very much for the moment on the team from last season, the Everton manager.
Well, quite rightly so. I think the only thing he'll be looking at in the game at the moment is tiredness. You know, Osman and Anichebe and Johnson have had to work really hard, the three of them, this half, because Everton have basically let them get on with it. Any balls that have gone up to them, they've basically been said, well, you three get on with it. So they've worked hard.
Arteta over the free kick. Beyond the reach of Anichebe. Here's Zakora. In towards Malbronk. Osman wasn't hesitating coming in on him. Now Chimbonda. And right round the back to the foe. It's a great save. Fine stop by Howard.
Well, it's great football all round. It's an unbelievable effort from Jermaine Defoe. But that's feet for you. That's what goalkeepers work on. He was on his near post, had to get to the back post. That's a brilliant save in the end.
Keane's corner. Chimbonda climbs for it. Routledge couldn't keep it in.
Well, this is a super save. A lovely dink ball from Chimbonda. Skips past Arteta. It just gets a little nick here, just before it reaches Defoe. And he could not hit this any better, I tell you. Meets it beautifully on the half volley. That's really good goalkeeping to beat it away.
Routledge in towards Defoe again. He's livened things up.
Well, he's had a few hits. Had that wild thrash from about 30 yards.
There's Zakora. Genius. Now Malbronk. Chimbonda. Genius. Slid away by Tony Hibbert. So we are going to see the first action in Everton colours of Phil Jagielka.
Yeah, Anichebe going off. I said I thought they might take what might be one of the front men. Two reasons: they've worked hard and they're probably a little tired, and they can just put another midfield player on. Probably say to Leon Osman, play a little bit further, or they might just go with a five in midfield and leave Johnson up top.
Well, Jagielka, a player who was actually rejected by Everton as a schoolboy, but finally gets to play for them, having built out a good career for himself at Sheffield United.
I think he's a decent player. I think he's a decent player, and it was a decent signing that for Everton, Phil Jagielka.
Here's Chimbonda.
What a good player he's been at left back. Fabulous season last year. Looks like he started off in equally fine form for Everton this year, Julian Lescott.
And of course, Steve McLaren's eye. He went for it, but couldn't get close enough. Zakora. And Malbronk. Genius. Gardner. Arteta.
Clever again there. A lot of players would have just bumped that forward. Not Arteta. It's much more beneficial to keep the ball.
Johnson has that task now. Neville there to help him out. Johnson looking for the early cross. Jagielka's the player who's got into the box. Here's Roca. Now Malong. Routledge. Keane, Defoe and Berbatov are all waiting in the middle. The Spurs can somehow find a way through to them. Routledge has that task. Berbatov beaten to the punch by Alan Stubbs. Keane had the job of retrieving. Osman ran into trouble first with Genius and then Zakora, but Johnson has won it back.
Just off, it must have been close. Sometimes the hardest to get right. But Johnson's shot, the blue one, is the first he sees. See that? In the end, it's a decent line.
Here's Chimbonda. Berbatov, away by Lescott.
Just crowded out.
Routledge. Chimbonda. Comes to nothing.
Well, I think what Spurs are finding out the first couple of games is it's brilliant and fine to have four potentially top strikers at this level, but it need people to create chances, and at the moment I just think the lack of invention and creativity in the second half has been there for all to see. You can't just give the ball to these players and say go on, make your own chances. They sometimes need a bit of help, more often than not, in the creation of chances.
Could that mean another dip back into the transfer market, or is it a question of waiting for the players who are currently sidelined by injury?
I got a few of them, I have to say.
Here's Roca. Now Didier Zakora. Well, the Everton fans are taking notice of the league table after all. We are top of the league. They've just started chanting.
Yeah, with 5 minutes to go, they're just beginning to feel confident enough to sing it.
An away day to Reading for them next, and then a home match against Blackburn. Let's not forget that David Moyes was a man in the managerial spotlight last season after a game against Spurs when his substitutions were criticised by a section of his own support. Here's Andy Johnson!
Great effort and a very good save.
Here's Defoe. Now Routledge. Clearing header by Yobo. Osman.
That's a fantastic first time ball with a weaker foot. Phil Neville.
Phil Neville hits it. There's Roca. Berbatov with the header on. Defoe. Chimbonda. Arteta just leaned into him.
It looks a little generous. Maybe just stuck a leg out, Arteta. Well, they need something to happen. They need it to happen very, very quickly. In fact, they need it to happen now.
Well, it's pretty much now or never, isn't it?
Everton right across the edge of that 6-yard box. 6 players waiting, 2 ahead of that.
It's Routledge's kick round the back to Chimbonda.
That's good goalkeeping. Expect him to come, mind you. It's dollied up in the air from Chimbonda. Lots of height on it. Well, 2 games in, it looks like Martin Yole has got quite a bit of work to do with this side.
Here's Defoe.
Well, I know we're talking about Ledley King and Michael Dawson and Bale and people like that come in, but that's all at the back. I'm talking about what I'm seeing at the other end of the pitch. You know, the big hitters are up there. And it's just not, I haven't seen them pepper Tim Hiller's goal second half with attempts. I think they've had about the 5 or 6 on target. No more than that.
Routledge's cross. Stubbs got a touch to that. And Spurs find 2 goals in 2 minutes plus stoppage time. There's Jermaine Defoe. And it's Defoe again. Past Neville into Hibbert.
That just about sums up Tottenham's night, doesn't it? Can't even get a corner from something like that.
Well, he's given the quartet a run tonight. But Berbatov, Defoe, Keane and Bent have been unable to hit the net. Only a defender could score for Spurs, Anthony Gardner. And it's not going to be enough, by the look of it, to yield anything. Here's Roca. Now Genius. Run by Jagielka for Andy Johnson. Up against Gardner. Can he finish it off? Gardner blocks it.
Didn't do enough. I expected more than just a shift and a hit there from Andy Johnson.
And back by Stubbs.
Well, I'll tell you, it might not have looked a good header, but under the pressure he was under, it was. Could easily have knocked that right over his goalkeeper's head, but struggling to get back. But he gets it wide enough of the goal not to trouble Howard.
Routledge's corner. Glanced away by Jagielka. Kept in by Steve Malbronk. Challenged by Leon Osman.
I think Osman's been great tonight. I think he's been a real star for Everton, Leon Osman.
2 goals in 2 minutes needed. That's how much has been added on. Here's Roca. Berbatov stretching but couldn't bring it under control. Some of them have seen enough.
Well, there's a lot more gone than that, I tell you. The stands are very empty, and have been emptying for the last 15 minutes.
Well, they lost their opening game last season, Tottenham, but they came back here and beat Sheffield United in their second game. There's been no such follow-up tonight. Here's Mikel Arteta. Osman, Johnson!
What a save. Oh, what a save. And that was quality.
But Everton still going for the 4th. Mikel Arteta forced away by Roca and Chimbonda.
Well, that's a great save. I don't think it's going to make any difference to the result of this football match. Yet again, look at Osman's energy, look at his running, and watch this for a little reverse. Absolutely brilliant. And that is a top draw save.
Lescott's push, and Spurs get a free kick. But it's beyond retrieval now for Tottenham. Stubbs. The worst possible start for Tottenham. The jeers ring around White Hart Lane for Martin Jol's team after 2 defeats out of 2 at the start of the Premier League season. But the best possible start for Everton. 2 wins out of 2, who took the lead as early as the 3rd minute through Lescott, and sewed it up with all the goals in the first half. Alan Stubbs rattling in the last from a deflected free kick. It finishes Tottenham 1, Everton 3.
Well, how about that? It was a night we thought that Tottenham might open up after the weekend and after the disappointment they'd suffered at Sunderland, but it turned out not to be so. They are rock bottom after 2 matches. Conversely, Everton go top for the first time since August 2001. And as Andy was saying, it's never too early to be top. That's a really good sight if you're an Evertonian.
Can hardly have wished for a better start to the season.
No, it's gone really well. We had a tough game Saturday. Opening games are always tough, and we knew coming here tonight was going to be a really tough game, especially with them getting beat to Sunderland. And we had to ride the pressure early on, but we showed a lot of character, and in the end I think it was a comfortable performance.
Leon, did you sense that Tottenham might be under the cosh a little bit, and that's why you were so positive here, particularly in that first half?
I don't think that was the case. I think we just came here being positive on ourselves. You know, we had a good win Saturday. You know, we won here last year, so we were confident we could do it again. So we came to you know, start right from the beginning and get right after them.
You scored on Saturday. How important was the goal here tonight?
You know, I think it was 1-1 at the time. So you know, we were pushing at the time to try and get the lead back, which we'd let slip. So you know, to get our noses back in front was crucial at that time.
Alan Stubbs, a goal scorer tonight. 3 defenders scored tonight. Yours from a free kick.
Yeah, the manager's always going on us for not scoring enough goals from set plays, free kicks. So it's nice to get in the score sheet, but the most pleasing thing was the result.
Bit of a deflection here, Alan.
A little one, but
Did I get a touch?
no, it was on target, so I think I'll get that.
You claiming it, Leon, as well?
I stuck my leg out. It might have bit of wind, you know.
We're not that long out.
Alan, top of the league. What can Everton achieve this season?
Well, we've had a good start, you know. And we know how important it is to where you finish at the end of the season. How important that is to have a good start, and we've done well up to now. There's a long way to go. If we can do anything like last season, then it'll be another good season. But a long way to go, yeah.
Leon, you've got 1 goal at the moment and 1 bottle of champagne. You're the Barclays man of the match. Well done.
Nice. Very much. Mate.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Cheers. Thanks. Thank you.
Cheers.
But how pleased were you with that performance tonight?
Well, you can't put any words how pleased we are, because to come to Tottenham and win 3-1, great result. We done it last year, and these players are more than capable of doing it. We've been telling them that, and they showed it tonight.
Fantastic first 45 as well.
Yeah, I thought it was a good game throughout. I thought both teams came. We went with 2 up top. We came here, had a game. I thought it was a good game. Now, you're going to always have to work hard against Tottenham because they pass the ball well in front of you, and you've got to make sure you don't lose your shape. But I thought at the right moments we done the right things.
Who's your star man tonight in blue?
Well, it'd be hard to pick out because I thought they all done a great job. It was a real workmanlike performance at times, but I've got to say there was real bits of flair and quality as well. Tim Howard makes a great save. He's not had much to do really all night. Made a great save, a couple of good catches, took the pressure off as well.
So many clubs bought big name players, spent a lot of money during the summer, were talked up during the summer. I think it's fair to say you weren't. Did that sort of act as a bit of an inspiration for you?
No, not at all, because you know, we might do it in the future, and you know, good luck to every club. We do the best we can at our club. We've always said that, you know, money doesn't always buy you success. It certainly helps, but there's no guarantees with it. But let's be fair, it's 2 games gone, so we're certainly not getting carried away.
Nice look at the top of the table though at the moment.
Well, if you'd said to me, you know, the start of the season was tough, you know, coming away to Tottenham is a real tough fixture, and will be for any team this season, and to come here and win 3-1 is really good.
Of course, Tottenham are being talked about as trying to break into that magical top 4. Is it fair to put Everton in that bracket as well?
Well, we broke into it 2 years ago, so we've been there, and I'm sure we can do it again. But let's be fair, the competition we're up against is really tough. And
is it harder now than it was a couple of years ago?
I think it is, because I think before, you know, there's now people come into the games who are buying players up, not just from this country, all over, and putting them into their sides and making it tough. But At the end of the day, it's 11v11. I've got a great deal of faith in our boys. He said to me before the game tonight I was playing the same players. Well, I'm playing the same players because I know what they can do and I trust them, and you saw by tonight's performance what they can do.
Are you still looking to try and bring in players before the window closes?
Yeah, we are, but as I said, if I don't get them, then I'll just take what I got tonight.
Well done tonight, fantastic performance.